wood thread. Just, cut the edges off like you usually do. And then try to cut as much of the brown, if that makes sense.
I'll try to do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if it ends up being like too actually in my hair, then don't worry about it. If it shows brown, I'll just end up re-dyeing it later.
Okay. But you want that taper, right?
Yeah. Just like as short as you can go. Not like skin short. Maybe like
a level beneath it, a level above it. Because level skin is this, and then above that is just the layer. Okay.
Or like, what is like a 1 compared to that one?
A 1 is too big.
1 is like bigger than that?
Yeah, you're not gonna really see it. We can just do this blade shorter.
I want it like really short. I just don't want it like super short because I'm still gonna keep this kind of long. Because I still kind of want this in my face.
Your size? I was gonna give you like a 1 or like a 1.5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What do you want, a 1?
Like short, yeah.
Okay, we can do 1. Okay.
Like maybe like a 1.5 to a 1.
Alright, so right now I'm just sectioning the hair at the parietal ridge, and then I'm gonna go ahead and debulk in the sides with my 1 guard open. I decided to give my cousin a mid taper, so I'm just going ahead and start out with my bald line with my gold white FX trimmers. Now I'm coming in with the Andis Masters with my blade open, keeping the same width, about 1 inch. And I'm gonna be honest, my cousin's haircut is a little tough to blend. He has a lot of dark follicles in his hair structure, head, whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, I'm gonna try my best to keep the fade blurry and as tapered as possible. My cousin also didn't want the foil shavers because his skin does get irritated, and usually when he gets the foils, it gets really irritated, like it's bumpy. So I didn't use them. I just used the trimmers to get it as bald as possible. After I've done that with the lever open, I go ahead and close my lever, and I go ahead and try to fade the blend out, and I adjust my lever as I need to. Next I come in with my one guard with the lever open and do the same thing, keep the same width, about 1 inch. And then afterwards, I go ahead and close my lever to try and blend from the blade. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use my my half guard halfway open to try and blend between the one and the blade. And then sometimes I do need to adjust my lever from the one half guard all the way close, and then I adjust it as I need to try and perfect the blade, because I won't always take it out with the half guard just halfway close. I will need to adjust the lever as I need to. Alright, so since all around his head is basically a 1, all I do is close my one guard and try and basically do some detail work, and then I open my one guard again to try and do some more detail work. I close it halfway open, and I'm just basically just messing with the lever and making sure I blend that fade out. And you can go ahead and see that I left some dark spot between the one and the half guard, but afterwards from the cut I look away from the haircut. I drink some water, I look away from the haircut like looking at the mirror or something, and I go back and I go ahead and hit that place with my clippers and do some detail work. That's always important, instead doing some detail work at the end. So now I'm just applying what I did before and then doing it for the back and then for the other side. That's all I have to do to make sure this blend comes out perfect, or at least semi-perfect, or however you want to say, nice basically. And then afterwards you go ahead and make sure you do your detail work. That's what I feel like what makes barbers stand out if when they do the detail work. I'm not saying I'm like one of the I'm not even saying I'm a good barber or anything. I feel like, I'm alright. I do pay attention to my detail work, make sure my clients do get the best out of my time and their time. So that's why I do implement my detail work as I need to. I want to point out one big thing that I did not know when I was cutting hair or learning how to cut hair, was that when I was looking at these YouTube tutorials, it's cool when people tell you, you gotta start with your bald line, and then you go with the lever open, and then with the one guard, your two guard, your half guard, stuff like that. You clip it over comb. But what I didn't know was when I was tapering, sometimes I'd feel like I do the steps right, and then I noticed something in your client's head, which is the occipital bone. The occipital bone is basically the part of your head that looks like you have a bump in there. And in my client's head, you can see the bump clearly. It looks like he has 2 bumps, right? And so what that does, you gotta pay attention to that. And so when you're tapering, when you're fading, that part tends to be darker. So when you're trying to fade it, you gotta make sure. So like like how I do my tapers now. When I do high tapers or low taper, mid tapers, whatever, I make sure that my fade is right below that. Or if I'm gonna do like a high fade, I make sure my fade, the bald line is above that. So I make sure my bald line, or it all depends, right, on the client's haircut. But I really started noticing that you do have to pay attention to the occipital bone. So that's why it's important to start off to debulking your client's head, and to make sure you know what you're working with, and where your client's occipital bone is, probably some dark follicles that they have, or some dark areas that will be hard to deal with. I did have to learn it the hard way, because this is what this is. It's a learning process. You learn as you go. Every new haircut that I do, I learn more. I learn something, and when that client comes back, I know what to look out for and how I can do better. That's why I'm doing this video, so that I can look back at myself mainly, so that I can see what I did wrong and how can I do better. Because I'm not the best barber. I learned from YouTube tutorials. That's how I learned. And then I've gotten clients off of these, and I'm just grateful that they let me practice on their hair. And from there, I'm getting better. Like I sucked probably like a year ago, and I want to say I started getting more into this just this year, putting on content on my Instagram. I have a Twitter, but I don't really use it, and I just started doing it on YouTube. And I know I'm not the best, and I know there's gonna be flaws in my videos, but I don't care. So if you want to point out my flaws, cool. That will help me, come back from that and learn what to do next. So yeah, just stay tuned for the rest of the video, and stay tuned for the to reveal for the after part. Thanks. My cousin's left side a little bit darker because I tried to do a C cup on him. It didn't turn out too well because I couldn't really do the C cup. I don't really know how to do it too well. That's why I tried to practice on him. He said it was okay, but nonetheless, I should have just did it all evened out. But I mean, either way, I think the haircut came out pretty good. He was satisfied, and he's my cousin, so he is always down for to let me cut his hair and his beard. But yeah, that's all I have for you, YouTube. And thanks for watching the video. It really helped me out, and I'm at a big 35 subscribers. When I started, I was like, obviously, 1 subscriber, and then, when you put in all your content, you get a couple, 2, 3, because not everybody on your social media is gonna follow you, even though they're your friends, quote unquote. They're not gonna go ahead and support you, but I really do appreciate everyone who has supported me, and it does mean a lot because it just means that I want to continue my journey and just put up more content and how not everyone is perfect. Everyone has some flaws. for them to work on. But yeah, that's the video, and thanks for standing by. Thanks. Subscribe and like this video. Thanks. Bye bye.